There is no other name by which men can be saved. There is no other name under heaven. There is rest for my soul, and the wounded made whole, and the captive set free and forgiven. There is no other name by which men can be saved. There is no other name under heaven. There is rest for my soul, and the wounded made whole, and the captive set free and forgiven. I'm Jocelyn Anderson, and I'll tell you who was on my mind this morning. The homebound. Are you homebound? Do you know someone who is homebound and would love to gather and worship but just can't? My hope and prayer for you this morning is that someone would come and worship with you and gather with you. And you know, there are some lovely people doing that. When my mother was homebound, she went to a church that made it a point to remember they're homebound, they're elderly, they're sick, those who couldn't get out of the house anymore, and participate in their Sunday school classes. My mama loved her Sunday school class. And they showed her love, their love for her, by remembering her when she reached a time in her life when she could no longer join with them. And they would come to see her, spend time with her, give her that friendship that she needed. We don't all have that. Every church fellowship doesn't provide that. 53% of professing Christians are unchurched. We're not all backslid. I am unapologetically unchurched. I am not backslid. I love the Lord. I obey the Lord. I continue to walk in my calling. I do gather together with other believers. I actually got up yesterday morning. Yesterday morning was a Saturday. I do my 11:30 live streams on Sunday, the Sunday morning lives for the unchurched. And but I do have some friends that meet on Saturdays. They meet on the Sabbath. So I got up yesterday morning. I'd looked forward to it all week long to go visit them. I visit them a couple of times a year, anywhere from, maybe 2 to 3 to 4 times a year. I visit them, that particular fellowship. I have other friends that I might visit with. I call them my friends. I don't feel led to become a part of their fellowship, a regular part every Sunday. You know what I'm saying. But anyway, I got up, I got ready. I was just really looking forward to spending a lovely couple hours with them. Usually it's several hours with them because they have their Bible study, then they have their regular worship service. Then they get together afterwards every week and they have a potluck, just to fellowship, just to talk and be friends with one another and spend that time with one another, which I think is beautiful. I got there right on time, waited a few minutes, no one showed. So I texted a few of my friends that I have their numbers to. I said, no church today? And I eventually got the answers back. No, we're at a gathering in another state with our denomination for the whole week. We'll be back next week as usual. And I know they do this, at least they did this, but they must, because, well, I might go into that on my live stream, that I'm going to be streaming in almost exactly 1 hour from the time this live stream is streaming. But you can catch us on the replay if you're watching me live or close to live. This is Sunday morning. It's a little after 10:30 Eastern time where I'm at. And if you would like to join me live, I would love it. At 11 a.m., I'm going to have a few minutes of just songs of praise, Eastern time, which is going to be in approximately 25 minutes from now. But if you miss that, you can still catch me on the replay, which is instant. But join me live if you can. I love for you to join me live. Selfishly, I get a lot of fellowship out of this, and I hope you would too. But anyway, they weren't there yesterday morning when I went to have my half of my Saturday afternoon having Christian fellowship, gathering together with other believers. I don't forsake that. I just am unchurched in the aspect that I do not belong to a church fellowship. Don't plan to join a church fellowship, but there are church fellowships I do like to visit and fellowship with and gather together with on occasion. So they weren't there, and I will admit to you, it bummed me. It totally just kind of ruined my afternoon. I'm not a super Christian, people. I am not a super Christian. And I had looked so forward to this for several days, to meeting and gathering with them and just spending time with my friends. And it was such a disappointment. Now, my personal opinion is, I know that there are things that people do, but if you have a public ministry, you have a building and a church and a sign that says every such and such a time we're here, someone needs to be there. You never know who's going to show up. You just don't know. Could be somebody like me. It could be a seeker, someone who's never been there before and may never come again. So just take that, file it away, do what you want with it. But my suggestion is, if you have a public ministry with a public building and there's a sign that says somebody's going to be there every such and such a day at such and such a time, get a volunteer for someone to be there, because you just never know. If you say go, we will go. If you say wait, we will wait. If you say step out on the water and they say it can't be done, we will fix our eyes on you and we will come. But there is no other name by which men can be saved. There is no other name under heaven. There is rest for my soul, and the wounded made whole, and the captives set free and forgiven.